Hi, it's Elizabeth here, and I'm going to share with you my third flip through. We left off, we were down in the Keys. I'm still in January, and I'm trying to get through doing, my first 2.5 books, sharing flip throughs with you before I start doing the current ones, which we're in June already now. So, anywho, I'll get started. So this was February 1st, and it was Super Bowl Sunday. We're not really big into sports, but I mean, we watched part of it. So I think we were still down in the Keys this day. I can't really remember because now it was so long ago. I had a migraine. I have migraines quite frequently, and sometimes I can get through them, and other times I'm just, want to crawl into a hole. So usually I have them for like 3 days. So anyway, there's not anything I can do about them, which really stinks. So I just suffer in silence. And then the next day, yay! Beauty Queen finally got her driver's license. So I took her down to the DMV. She took her driving test. She did great. I mean, she's been driving for 3 years already, so, with me. And so she did really well on it and was able to get it right away. And we were so happy because now she can use the car that we had bought her a few months ago. My husband, he's so sweet. He bought me this new journal, and I had shared this journal in a previous video that I did about random journaling and or random journals that I had, and so this was the one that I made into my love journal. So I put all of his little love notes in it, and I love it when he's stops off on the way home from work and he's doing whatever, shopping around or looking for something, and then he'll find something for me, and he's always such a sweetie when he comes home and surprises me. He also got me a desk lamp because I had changed the room that I work in used to be our school room because I homeschool, as most of you know, and we used to work on a big dining room table in there, and we had the computer was in there. We had bookshelves with a gazillion books on them for schooling, and it's painted basketball orange, and I love it. And anyway, so he got me a lamp because I've now converted that homeschooling room into kind of my craft room. So I pushed the table up against the wall so that I'd have an area to put stuff. So anyhow, that's that. And then this day, it was just a horrible day. I was running out of my medication, and the doctor's office they were being poo-poo heads, and so it was a nightmare. It almost landed me in the hospital. But anyway, so this is what I did that day. It was Tuesday. It was Tangle Tuesday, so I did a tangle with Just Breathe, so I could remember to just breathe. And then this day was I had gotten my Inktense pencils in, which are totally awesome, and I had done this peacock. I love peacocks. I don't like to hear peacocks because, quite frankly, they sound like women screaming, and it's frightening, especially at night. And I live out in the country, and peacocks are all over the place here, so you just never know. Anyhow, I had Felicia from Mouse Potato Designs, and the gal that runs the Fobonichi Journalers group. She had told me to make sure to just outline it, and then take your water brush and drag the color in. So that's what I did, and I really love the way it came out, even though his butt looks like a barrel, but oh well. It was my first time drawing something, so pretty much the first time drawing something legitimate, and so I love the way he came out. And then this day, it was rainy out, and I really needed some positivity, so I looked through some of my little stickers, positive stickers, and just put that in there, and a reminder to myself that life is precious. So that was that. And then this day again, I'm still with the creative writing class, and the assignments that we were working on are they had to write a story about, or some paragraphs about who they looked up to, and why they had to do an assignment on if they were leaving home and never coming back and they only had one medium suitcase, what would they put in it? And also the perfect present, but it couldn't be something tangible. So those were really interesting, what they came up with, and I had a lot of fun doing them myself. And I got the sweetest comment from one of my students, because I email the students their homework and things like that, and she emailed me back and she said, the opportunity to write like this is rare and wonderful in high school. And I just, oh, my heart swelled at that. It was just such a wonderful comment from such a sweet student of mine. And on here, I drew, it was Draw It Friday in the Fobonichi group. And so I drew an owl that I had found on Pinterest and, doodled it. And so did that. And then we were off to the Hideaway because this was Friday, and we were going to a restaurant that's just, right across the street, basically, across the highway from where we live down there. And it's all you can eat fish Friday, so my son loves to go there on Fridays. Then this weekend, we started out going around, and my husband, he loves to decorate our downstairs. We have a stilted home down there, and so the downstairs, it used to be this huge carport, and so he took half of it, and he and my son put up lattice work and walls, I guess, but it's lattice walls to enclose that area. So we have couches down there and a domino table and a dining room table, and our TV is there's a TV down there and a sound system, and it's wonderful. So he always goes out and finds various things and brings them home to hang them up down there. And let me put my glasses on because I cannot see a thing. And this was so long ago that I can't remember, but he got a marker sign from one of the places down there. He got some metal signs and an oar to hang up. But then later on that evening, he took a turn for the worse health-wise. So it was a couch night the rest of the night, but at least he was, he had fun getting this stuff. So this day was Fobonichi Journal It Sunday, and it was about what your safe place is. So my safe place is my bed. And I have king size bed, and it's a sleigh bed, and I love it, and it's comfy. And since I'm ill a lot of the times, it's I've had it. I wrote, since having a chronic illness, it's led me to have quite the relationship with my bed. So, and then down here, even the dust bunnies seem to like it too. Let me check the time. Okay, I hope you guys can see all this. And then this day. Let me see. Oh, my husband had some testing done. He's been having issues, pancreatic issues, and just general thoracic, I guess, area issues. I don't know. And but we were pleased to find out that there was no cancer so far. So we were glad for that. And so I just wrote. I love to tell my kids this. That it's wonderful to love and to be loved, but it's truly a blessing to be in love. One of the things my husband taught me when we were dating is that there's actually a song about it too, but that love is not a feeling, it's an act of your will. And so you make a choice to love someone. And so we've always just held on to that and taught our kids that. So it's, being in love, and it's not, it is the warm, fuzzy feeling of being in love, but it's also important to choose to love. So I like that page. And then this day was the first day my kids went to school on their own. My daughter drove her and my son to school. And before I used to drive them and stuff like that. And I had always thought, when the kids are out of the house and on their own, how great it's going to be. I'll be able to get so much stuff done. Well, then I had this huge empty nest feeling, and I hated it, I just hated it because I've homeschooled my kids their whole lives. And so they've always been like, attached to my hip. And even though they're teenagers, they have their own lives, they do their own thing. But, it was hard for me. So that was that day. I was having empty nest syndrome, I guess. And then this day I put life is precious up at the top, and then I put it's way too precious to be grading papers most of the day, because this was me under yet another pile of papers that I was grading. And then this day, of course, I was spent most of the day on the computer doing my creative writing. And I just wasn't in the mood because we had, I can't remember now. There were probably 40 or 45 writing assignments through the whole book. And what I would do ahead of time is I would type an example and of course I was making the book myself along with the students, so I would type up a sample of the assignments and then send them samples so that they would know what I expected. So I did that. Let me check the time again. Okay. And then this day, I'm sure I did something that day, but I just couldn't remember what. So this happened to be a day that I don't remember. It was Friday, so we went to school and I taught my class. I do know that, but I just didn't get to it. And I don't like white space, and I don't like leaving blank pages. Then this day was February 14th, so it was Valentine's Day. We didn't really do anything all that special, but just spend time together. We were down at the Hideaway. My husband quit smoking and switched to a vapor thing. And so that was good for him. And then this here, my daughter is 18, and when she turned 18, we told her that she could get a tattoo because she had always wanted one, and we told her, you have to wait till you're 18. Down here, some places you can sign off as a 16-year-old to get a tattoo, but we told her no, she needed to wait. And so I found a drawing on Pinterest that we both liked, and drew that up, but we didn't get it that day. She wanted both of us to get the same thing, but we didn't get it this day. We got it another day. And then I'll just stop here on this day, and I'll catch you on the next flip. Thanks so much for watching.